I've heard some positive things about No Game No Life, but honestly, I expected it to be like a lot of the other isekai that I've seen up until this point. But I was actually pretty wrong. I'm not gonna lie, it does give off mad Konosuba vibes, but that's really only because they share the same silly and extremely unserious comedy style. No Game No Life actually carved out its own identity as I was watching it, and considering that it's in the isekai genre, that's extremely impressive because a lot of shows, even a few that I thoroughly enjoy, struggle to do the same. No Game No Life has managed to become one of the smartest and one of the dumbest shows I've ever watched simultaneously, and it's probably the first anime that I've watched to accomplish this. So pull up a chair, let's talk about it. But before we get into it, as always, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button for more anime review and analysis videos just like this one. So, you know how we do things around here. First, we start off with the story. The story was pretty good. It's a shame that this doesn't have a season 2. I would definitely love to see way more of this. Hopefully it gets renewed for a season 2, but considering how long it's been, I think we'll fuck around and see the end of One Piece before we see a second season of this. And that's extremely unfortunate because this is a good ass show. Our story follows two sibling shut-ins named Sora and Shiro. They're both gods at games, and that's not an understatement. This nigga Sora was using both hands and feet to control 4 different characters and still shitting on everyone. It's really insanity. Imagine getting flicked on in Valorant and finding out that the nigga aiming with his little piggies. I'd damn near retire, I'm not gonna lie. The sibling duo calls themselves Blank, and they play all their games as one entity. One day they get this email that asks them questions about how they like their current world, which they don't. I mean, they're shut-ins. There's a reason they'll go outside. The email has this link and they click it, and it's this chess game. Shiro beats the person, and then they're transported to this new world. Turns out that they beat the god of the world, and this world's decisions are based off of games and the condition of them. With the end goal being to challenge Tet, the god of this world, they work to conquer all these continents and species to eventually challenge him for his #1 spot. So that's the premise of the story. For a comedy isekai that rarely takes itself serious, this show has a pretty great storyline. Even though this show is about games, it's pretty surprising how they touch on ideas like dismantling social hierarchy, economic partnerships, and becoming a nation that treats each other equally. Like, it's on some that time I got reincarnated as a slime type shit, and I love it. And once again, this is a comedy, isekai, fan servicey type anime, so I think that's really cool. When I tell you this show is funny as hell, I really mean it. It could be the most serious shit going on. They definitely gonna find a way to make a joke out of it. They really just like me for real, in real life. They having this whole chess game to determine who's gonna be the next king of Elkia. And this nigga Sora was like, you know what? Nah. And started giving these niggas a motivational speech like Optimus Prime. He was like, brothers in arms, they beating y'all ass. Now, me personally, I ain't no bitch, so I wouldn't know what to do if I was in y'all shoes. Hey, I'm not a bitch. Yeah, I ain't no bitch neither. Let's beat their ass. Bro, the TYB, the queen on the other side, like, this is a completely sophisticated game of chess turned into some of the slowest shit ever, and I love it. Same thing with the last game against the Beast People. Games for the entire continent, and the ownership of Elkia, and all they people. And the game is fucking waifu House of Dead. Like, bro, what? I love how unserious this show is. They actually did have one serious moment that was super unexpected, I'm not gonna lie, and really creative, and really fire. So they can really flip that switch whenever they please, and I think they use this moment to show us that. Sora's game versus Karami was such a good part because it was a drastic change in tone for the show, and you really didn't know what was going on at all. All of a sudden, Sora is gone. Shiro has fleeting memories of him, and everyone else forgot him. Him set it up so Shiro can finish that game to get his existence back, and he can gain their trust by giving them his memories and altering Fee's memories, so she gives the elves a false report so they don't know any details about the War Beast game, guaranteeing them the victory if they try to invade. It's some crazy shit. And that's some crazy good storytelling, I'm not gonna lie. And that's not it. It's a decent amount of thought-provoking stuff in this anime, which is rewarding to people like me who like to guess when and why stuff is happening. It's a lot of genius ass strategy and a lot of crazy displays of intelligence, thus creating this smartest, stupidest title that I gave it. They did the story really well, and again, I hope we get a season 2 eventually, because something that's unique definitely deserves it. Now let's move on to the characters and character interactions. They did a really good job with the characters in this show. Nobody feels wasted, which is always a plus over here, so let's run through a few of them. Sora is a really good character. He's extremely funny, smart, and compassionate, but man, the wildest qualities he got is how smart he is and how much of a risk taker he is. He has a crazy amount of faith in his sister. So much faith to the point where he gambled his entire existence on her finishing the game and bringing him back. Seriously, think about that. he risked never existing again, and it was actually a small period of time when he didn't exist, just because he had faith in his sister. Now, I got faith in my siblings, but I wouldn't trust them with no shit like that, and they shouldn't trust me with no shit like that. I really like his relationship with his sister too, I'm not gonna lie. At first, I thought they was gonna be on some other shit, like, I thought they were gonna be like romantically involved, and if that was the case, you wouldn't be watching this video right now, cause I wouldn't have finished this shit. But their relationship is actually pretty cool. It's literally like they say, they're one being. They depend on each other. They can't be too far away from each other. They just gonna start tweaking. This type of codependency is definitely a little bit unhealthy, but it's sweet at the same time. Its depiction of it is sweet. I like how he is with Stephanie too. He spends hella time thinking over the old king's strategy when he didn't understand it, and when he thought that he was just a dumbass, he did it for her sake. Her faith in her grandfather's beliefs and his seemingly stupid actions ended up being the missing puzzle piece to all this. And it all started with Sora stepping back from logical thinking for a second and moving based on his care for Stephanie. Sora's a cool dude, gang. Shiro is really cool too. She really takes after her big brother. She's goofy as hell and super smart too. They're like each other's #1 fans too, which is super dope. It doesn't matter how crazy of an idea either one of them has, they still support and trust each other. And Shiro, being the smart one, isn't scared to depend on her brother either, which is really cool. She kind of acts like a chill pill for him too, cause Sora really be tweaking in this show. He be over horny on some really like dangerous type timing, and she bring that nigga back down to earth, so she's needed. They just have this funny ass dynamic that's so alike and complement each other so well that you have no choice but to like them. Steph was really cool too. She really be getting her ass fried, but she's always a good sport about it. And she knows it's all love at the end of the day. She's definitely smart as hell sometimes, even when they be thinking her ass slow. And she definitely, just like her grandfather, cause her ass be gambling crazy. She got some strong ass willpower too. Niggas was disrespecting her grandfather to her face for mad long, cause she didn't black out or nothing. She really has this genuine love for Sora and his sister. And you could tell she did once she realized how much work they were doing to progress the kingdom and expand the kingdom. Her little crush on Sora funny as hell too, cause every time she feels something, she get the headbutt and shit, and that shit make me laugh every single time. Steph was a really cool character. We didn't get a lot of characters, but man, the ones that we did get were great. Shout out to the voice cast. Y'all all did an amazing job on this. Now let's move over to the looks, presentation, and the music. Madhouse did a really good job on this anime. This anime looks really good. The action sequences are all really well animated. I really like the pinkish hue that's over everything. I don't know if that was like an original decision from the start, but regardless, I really like it. It really gives the show a unique look that I've never seen before, and I really vibe with it. There's also a lot of different references in this show. There's references to stuff like Doraemon, there's a Yu-Gi-Oh reference, there's a Phoenix Wright reference, and there's a JoJo reference in there too. I think that's really cool, and they showing nods to other franchises and IPs. The music in this show is pretty solid. Nothing too crazy, but I do really like the intro theme to it. Shout out to the animation and the sound teams and the artists for working on this. Y'all all did a really phenomenal job. Overall, I think that No Game, No Life did a really good job at creating something that stands out in the isekai genre. It's a very silly show overall, but they let us know pretty fast that there was a method behind their madness. And they let us know that they aren't scared to flip that switch and hit you with some slick genius and slick serious shit going along with it. So it definitely keeps you on your toes. I really hope this ends up getting a season 2, and I'm definitely going to check out the movie eventually as well. If you're a fan of the isekai genre, I would say give this a shot, especially if you like ones like Slime, Overlord, and Konosuba. No Game, No Life was a really good watch, and I think you should watch it too, gang. It's plain and simple. But anyway, that's all for me, gang, man. As always, man, have a great day. Love y'all. Peace.